Welcome to Season 4 of MLS Next Pro. I'm Mark Schoenster. Just 18 weeks ago, we crowned our third Cup champion. What might be in store for us in 2025? Let's take a look.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro.
We hope you've been enjoying this opening weekend of the 2025 season in MLS Next Pro, and we're closing it off tonight with two returning playoff teams from last season, LAFC 2 hosting the Vancouver Whitecaps 2. Once again, my name is Mark Schoenster, excited to be bringing you this one this evening on MLSNextPro.com. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for these two units, their first 11s of the season. For Junior Gonzalez, some returning names from last season. Some of the big names, of course, Adrian Webowo signing with the first team, but getting the chance to get the start here in the first game. 10 goals, 4 assists last year for Webowo, the 19-year-old. And Cabral Carter getting the captain's armband, making his debut with the second team, returning back from the University of Pittsburgh, back to his home club where he played his academy days. On the other side of things, for Vancouver Whitecaps 2, for head coach Ricardo Clark, the 4-3-3 formation, Max Anchor, another player from the first team coming down and getting a look in goal, wearing the captain's armband as well. A couple of debuts for Vancouver Whitecaps 2, including Mark O'Neill, Francesco Troisi, Dalen Velios, and Jackson Castro. An exciting day for both of these two sides as we get things going here. Some debuts, some returns, and of course, some great soccer coming up. I'd like to clarify those 4 debuts are MLS Next Pro debuts. Nelson Pierre also making his Vancouver Whitecaps 2 debut, but he did play in the MLS Next Pro for Philadelphia Union too. We've got Jamie Padilla, our head official, donning the yellow referee uniform. Vancouver in white, LAFC in black, as both teams are eager to get their 2025 campaign started. Watches are set. And here we go from Fullerton, California. The 2025 season for LAFC 2 and Vancouver Whitecaps 2 has officially begun. We hope you all have been having a fantastic Sunday here. Whether you are an MLS Next Pro fan, getting your last fix here for the first week of the season, or if you're following one of these two teams, a particular player, we welcome you in on the broadcast, and we're looking forward to spending the next 90 minutes of action, plus some halftime content and post-game content with you here on the MLSNextPro.com. It's always fun to see how these two teams, how any team for that matter, week 1 looks coming out of the gate, because then you get to have that compare and contrast between today and then how they look at the end of the season, whether it be the final match week of the season or going into the playoffs. Both of these teams having the pleasure of playing postseason soccer last year. Both of which were bested by teams that would end up making a run to at least the Western Conference Final. North Texas beating Vancouver Whitecaps 2, the reigning champions. They're also currently in a match right now with St. Louis City. And St. Louis City FC 2, they were the team that bested LAFC. St. Louis City 2, that is, as here come Vancouver. Just for a moment, though. returning head coaches on both sides, Ricardo Clark, Junior Gonzalez, so having the ability to build off of last season. Ball chipped up over top, and getting to it first is Cabral Carter, making his MLS Next Pro debut. The 20-year-old goalkeeper standing at 6'2". For this LAFC team, in 2024, Junior Gonzalez said that his side's average age was around 18 and a half, and yet we really competed. He felt they started strong, then they lost some guys to the first team and then struggled to replace them. Then he mentioned that that resulted in the crew that was around to play gaining a lot of resilience. He was really happy to make the postseason. He said, you really want to put these kids in high-pressure playoff matches. And so they got that opportunity. I mean, that's invaluable because you really see what your habits are like when you're playing an intense game. As this ball over the top is nice. Falls to Alec Hughes. His first looks with LAFC 2. Try to see if they can crack open this Vancouver Whitecaps 2 side. But Junior Gonzalez, the man in charge of this program going into his second year, was pleased with how last year went. And this is a side that's eking and oozing confidence going into this season. Having the chance to talk to both the head coach and the captain there, Cabral Carter, both of which felt really good about this squad. Searching ball forward will go into the penalty area. Max Anchor claims it. Meanwhile, for this Vancouver Whitecaps 2 side, Ricardo Clark said that in 2024 from the start, a general strategy was in place to develop the younger players on the roster in their academy and some of those young guys on the second team contract. He mentioned roughly they were the 5th youngest team in the league, so a story that both of these two teams can share from last season. He said, we didn't just go young to go young. They proved their spots and they did well. We had some contribution from signed players. 2 guys on the roster earned spots with the first team. He said, all in all, it was a successful year. And once we saw that we might make the playoffs, we made that push, and it was a bonus experience for the guys on the squad to not only see that goal get set and make the playoffs after saying, all right, let's make a push for it. Let's see if we can make it. But then have the opportunity to play in a high-stakes game. So in many ways, these two sides sort of mirror each other in what took place last year. Remains to be seen, though, how we could compare these two this season, of course. And this is a good way to measure up. Chanting underneath for the fans who have come out to support LAFC 2 here at the beautiful Titan Stadium. That's good looking grass. That is a massive pitch. Owns itself to playing some good footy. See the passing along the back line right now. Some new additions in that regard. You're looking at Eric Diaz right now. Just recently came in on loan from Tauro FC, the Panamanian side for the Panamanian center back. Here they come on the offensive end. Shot rocketed towards goal. And LAFC 2 are on the board. Matthew Evans with a ripping strike. The 18-year-old, excuse me, cuts in. Gets his left boot on it and picks out the far post. Just rifles it to the side netting. A fantastic opening goal for the season from Simi Valley, California. The Guatemalan makes sure that LAFC 2 scores their first goal of the season in style.
LAFC 2 goal in the 7th minute of play. The goal by player number 70, Matt.
So that's that. Opening the door here. A lot of confidence for this LAFC 2 team coming into the season. Talking to Junior Gonzalez coming into this season. He said, we added some new faces, including Sebastian Nava, who knows me from our LA Galaxy 2 days. Derek Jones is a good add. It's been a long preseason for this side, so they've really gotten to know each other well. They got it 5 scrimmages, and he felt that in comparison to where this team was going into week 1 last season, this team is in a better spot. And here they come again. The sifting pass inside. It is collected by Nava, the new addition, or at least one of the new additions. Evans taps it up to Guetta. Evans chests it down. Couple of good touches. Wind up effort, picks the bottom right corner. Make it 2 for LAFC 2. And look who it is, Adrian Wabowo, back in his scoring ways. This one just squared across, and Wabowo picks his location. And that's that. 10 goals last season, led the team. He is not shy to open his account here. For the 2025 season, that is. What a start. A statement opening 10 minutes from the home team. See if Whitecaps 2 can enjoy some of the ball here. Going down 2 goals early, it's always disheartening. Talking to Ricardo Clark, he said he wants to see that competitive drive from this side. It's really going to get tested here because it can be very deflating to concede 2 very early in the game, let alone 1. That'll be a foul on Jude Terry. He was telling me that tactically, it's still coming together, but that intensity has to be the foundation. The style and the chemistry can't come without that fire, so he wants to see them be highly competitive in this one. Ball chested down, shot sliding, block. Mark O'Neill denying a shooting opportunity there. LAFC trying to unlock them again. Alec Hughes looking for the opportunity to strike. The center back from Creighton, Mark O'Neill, though, was able to crash in there before it got too dangerous. It's those kinds of moments that Ricardo Clark wants to see from his guys. Players laying it out there, making those runs, having that competitive drive. Does not, I mean, you can't build a team, you can't build that tactical side if you don't have the players with the willpower to learn and to adapt. So here early in the season, where you're still in that forming stage as a group, it's It's more about the attitude than anything. Second corner kick for LAFC too. Ball bends inside, flipped away. Here's Guetta. Good work there. Vancouver winning the ball back. That was Jeevan Badwal, who won possession for the home, or for the visiting side, excuse me. Hughes trying to track that one down. A little bit of contact as Hughes looked like he got slung to the grass. Nothing doing though. This portion of the match is brought to you by BMO, the official bank of LAFC. LAFC cashing in on 2 early goals to start the season. Courtesy of Matt Evans and Adrian Wabowo. So here's the interesting part about the game plan coming into this game for Junior Gonzalez and LAFC too. Coach Junior Gonzalez told me, playing this Vancouver team in the past, he said they can hit us with passes from behind. He mentioned it's going to be about counter-pressing and defensive structure. Are we compact and can we put out the fires? He's very confident in their attacking ability, which has now been proven to us. He felt they've always been able to score consistently as a side since he's taken over. So it's about that other half of the ball, which so far so good. He also mentioned that they've been working on the high press, so wanted to see how that comes to fruition in this game. They're a more athletic side this year, so they have the ability to do that. Ball being headed around in the air right now. That's a nice looking header forward. Vancouver with an opportunity, contact, no foul called. Going down there, Mateo Clark, academy player with an opportunity. Now it's Alec Hughes on the other side. Now go out for a corner kick. Clark tried to slip by 2 defenders. Got caught there, couldn't hit the brakes as efficiently as he would have liked. No whistle from our head official suggesting there was any contact in the 18th. And so another corner kick for the home team. Guetta fires it itself, deflected over top. Holding midfielder, waiting for the opportunity to wind this one up. Alec Hughes trying to redirect it. This will go to the corner, and it'll be a goal kick. Got the chance to talk to one of the young players on this Vancouver Whitecaps 2 side, Liam McKenzie, 17 years old. You'll see him on the pitch wearing number 97. He's in the midfield. He's making a run alongside the rest of these white jerseys right now. He said that's a hungry new group as Alec Hughes has an opportunity on the other end. Hughes with a loose touch. suffered a shove. Nothing doing, says the head official. Perhaps there's something there with that contact, but Hughes had a rough touch in that run, which even provided the opportunity for contact in the first place. This is a hungry group, though, Vancouver Whitecaps too. Liam McKenzie was telling me that's a lot of academy guys. But since that's the case, they know each other pretty well, given most of them have come from the academy, which is good. And he's felt it's really clicked with them to start the season. Of course, it's a rough start to this one, as we see here. There's definitely a shove from Dembo Sedekan. A lot of pace being shown off there on the left-hand side. Sedekan sending it ahead for Liam McKenzie. Actually, check that. That's Bodwall. Cross comes in, deflected away. It's handled by LAFC 2 here. O'Neal. Hit that one with the outside of his boot. Luckily, tracking back to find it is Johnny Selemani. Selemani again. A lot of black jerseys around him. He'll dish it out. And McKenzie, that pass too far ahead of him. He'll be out for a goal kick. And Cabral Carter will put this one back into play. Also had the chance to chat with him, the captain for LAFC 2. He was part of that original academy class back in 2016. And he spent his days in the academy before leaving off to play at Pitt. He said it's been special coming back, especially reuniting with some of these guys like Brian Moyato, who is on the bench today. These are guys that knew each other since they were 11 years old. And he told me that they've had their different paths. Obviously, I, being Cabral, went to Pitt. Brian's had to overcome injuries, and now here we are, back together in Los Angeles. And he felt that was really cool, and I can't help but agree with him. Can't imagine having that ability to play at academy level at a young age, just keep growing older with someone and then have the chance to play as a professional with them. Ball's headed down, parried away by the defender. I believe Christian Diaz was the one who got a piece of it. Another service, glances out for a corner kick. Or no, actually didn't even touch the goal line, so it'll be a throw-in. That'll be a corner kick. I was just getting ahead of myself. First corner kick of the evening for Vancouver. Here's the service, and contact was made. It's gonna be tough to bring that one down. So at the end of things, it will just be a goal kick. Jackson Castro in his Next Pro debut, providing the service. We got a total of 4 first-teamers playing in this one today, 2 for each side. Max Anchor in goal for Vancouver Whitecaps 2. Jeevan Badwal right in the heart of that formation for Vancouver. And you've got Jude Terry in the middle of the pitch for LAFC 2. And then, of course, the goal scorer, Adrian Wabowo, is able to put one in the back of the net already. Bit of a wipeout there from the aforementioned Adrian Wabowo. Vancouver streaking forward here. Selemani plays it out to the left. It's Nelson Pierre entering the 18. Pierre steps inside, tried the shot. Well, they'll go again. At this point, LAFC settled into their structure. Transition opportunity gone by the wayside now. Nice ball down the pitch. McKenzie still with it. Liam McKenzie splits the defenders. McKenzie across the middle. Wind up shot, no good. Nice pass inside. Not a bad touch from Pierre. Now a long distance effort. Punched over the crossbar. First action of the night for Cabral Carter. A couple of good chances here for the visitors. Just a bevy of opportunities. A couple of shots blocked. A touch that went behind two attacking players. And it results in a corner kick, which no one has gone over to take it. Comes the service. After a couple of headers, LAFC able to get it out of harm's way, but only temporarily. Castro with the low pass inside. And that one will be deflected out for a home team throw. Badwall taps it back to Mark O'Neill. Those two will exchange it back and forth. A little bit of a press here. Vancouver has to deal with it. This portion of the match is presented by DoorDash, exclusive on-demand delivery partner of LAFC. Long ball down the pitch. Carter wisely lets it bounce into his box so then he can scoop it up. For this Vancouver side, last 3 weeks, been able to play some local sides in Vancouver, some CPL teams. Carter Clark was telling me that this squad came together fairly quick. He felt they were lucky to get those games to increase cohesiveness, and then he said, as the season goes along, we will also use these regular season games to continue to build that chemistry, get stronger and stronger as the year goes along. I mean, it's already gotten better as this game has gone. We're only 26 minutes in. And as I say that, LAFC 2 with a promising push ahead. That's a lovely ball. Squared back up top, and it's easy pickings for LAFC 2. Attacking space, and then it was a wide open net to punch the ball into. A good combination of passes. Made it look like they were on the training ground. And that's a goal put away by the first teamer, Jude Terry. That's the definition, though, of a team goal. Players recognizing where an open man was, and then a little bit of tic-tac-toe inside of the 18. Things broke down there for Vancouver on the back end. Very sharp, though, from LAFC 2 here, the first 30 minutes of this game. So, after looking at that last goal, they're actually going to attribute it to Alec Hughes. There was a deflection off of him before it hit the back of the net. So although Jude Terry was the one playing it towards goal, it's Alec Hughes who will get the goal attributed to him, which means it's his first MLS Next Pro goal. His first professional goal, for that matter. The draftee out of UMass, drafted by LAFC, and now getting his chance to get his first minutes at the pro level. Either way, 29 minutes into this one, LAFC 2. Flexing their muscles on the offensive end. Hughes with some pressure there, and that earns them the ball. Wabowo tried to slice it through. I'm not sure if Hughes was onside anyway. Meanwhile, on the other end, Pierre couldn't keep it in bounds. The offside flag went up as well, so that's actually what the restart will be as opposed to a throw-in. This portion of the match is brought to you by Ford. Another opportunity pushing forward. Nicely cleared away. It falls to Terry. Deflects back to Evans. Couple of tight passes. Evans tries to dribble it through. Carter distributes that out to his left. Terry suffering some contact. Doesn't sway him off the ball at all, though. Objective for all these players on the pitch here today, of course. One of the objectives to win, do well in the season. But you know they're all trying to gain that coveted call-up to the first team. For Junior Gonzalez. Talking about what LAFC is looking for in their second team players to get that chance to move upward. Said they need to have that technical execution. Can they make those plays through the lines and along the edges? Obviously, there are certain physical boxes they need to check. This one played across to Abowo. Plays this to his left. Back to Abowo. Service curls inside and beyond anybody. He does glance off of the center back though. So corner kick for LAFC too. Another one of the questions that Junior Gonzalez mentioned when it comes to players earning a chance to get a call up to the first team. He said, are the players positioning themselves to quickly move the ball where it needs to go? So how are you positioning your body so then you can make the pass as the ball comes your way at the highest speed, at the highest efficiency? Are they reading scenarios and creating solutions? That's another one of the questions. And then last but not least, he said, then it's up to the individual to show what they are exceptional at. And that, of course, is different for every single footballer. Cross dips down for Hughes. And at last made contact with Hughes. So a 3-0 start to this one. Goals from Hughes, Wibowo, and Evans has given LAFC this strong start and the opening match of the season for both teams. Diaz. Squared across to, well, Diaz. It's Christian and Eric Diaz, the center back duo there. Terry will bring it forward. Playing it centrally. That's handled by Dembo Sedekan. More to go with it for Johnny Salamani. Now LAFC 2 on the prowl. Wibowo tried to sneak that one through to Hughes. McKenzie will dish it out to Salamani. Like a warning is going to be issued here. There's well, some contact right in the middle of the pitch. It'll be Vancouver ball. Liam McKenzie right next to the taker. He'll be the one to receive it, and he'll tap it right back. A little back and forth there between him and Badwall. Talking to McKenzie, though, about his coach, Ricardo Parker. Rico, as some of them refer to him as. Said he's a great coach, very focused tactically. He said, Ricardo Clark, he's great at that balance of making sure everyone is doing their best while also making sure that they're winning games, too. Good work there from Dalen Velios to earn the deflection off of Hughes to win a goal kick for the visiting side. Now that is the challenge, isn't it, here in this league, is what does your scale look like as a program? How much are you prioritizing, pushing to make the playoffs and make that championship versus the development of individuals? Sometimes that could potentially mean how many players get minutes in a season, because continuity obviously is a big contribution to a winning season. And maybe that question gets answered by how many guys deserve to get minutes. It seems like Ricardo Clark, in his tenure with Vancouver, has earned the respect of his players that it's a good chord between the two that he's striking. That plays it over to the right-hand side out wide. Nava rolling that one back. It's Guetta again. Jones crosses this one centrally. LAFC, they lose the ball. They gain it back pretty quickly. This effort will drag wide. Matthew Evans gave it a go from distance. Didn't have a lot of lift on the pass, or the shot, excuse me. Ultimately, Max Anchor had that one covered. That one getting away from Troisi. One of the many Next Pro debutantes playing here tonight. Closer and closer to halftime here. LAFC confidently in the lead. We have some good halftime content coming your way though on MLSNextPro.com. That back heel reaching Nava there. McKenzie splits the wickets and Vancouver avoid danger here. See a little bit of behind the scenes content at halftime. We'll also hear from some of the coaches across MLS Next Pro, including Ricardo Clark, talking about and reflecting on Black History Month. A couple things for you to look forward to during the break. I want to make sure you keep that window open, keep that TV on, however you're tuning in. Shrugging up the contact there. Jackson Castro plays it to his left. Still pushing for it there. Was Dalen Velios. Look, he was appealing for a handball as he was pressing on. It didn't stop him, though, from continuing to push on the ball. Demonstrating some multitasking ability. This one will go back to Cabral Carter. Using his feet here, one of the things he developed during his time at Pittsburgh. Top-notch program there at Pitt. Men's soccer team, always in the thick of the competition at the NCAA level. Said that going away from home was big for him. Of course, going across the country from west to east coast. Meanwhile, it's east to west here for LAFC. The left-hand side, that shot slotted, parried, the follow through. It got blunted at the last second. Nearly a fourth goal for the home side. Here's a look at it again. Derek Jones Jr. first had to go, then it spilled out nicely. Sebastian Nava nearly had his first professional goal. But a crucial touch at the last moment kept him from having an easy finish. A loose touch there gives it right back to LAFC. Talking about that time spent at Pittsburgh, Cabral Carter told me that the team required a lot from the goalkeeper. He said we used our feet a lot, so I could bring that technical and personal growth with him. Sometimes it's just important to get away from home, and not just for the sake of distance and having a new experience in a new place, but also on the soccer side of things, just hearing some different ideas, being around some different minds, both coaches and players alike. And also just NCAA soccer is a different animal. Usually a pretty different style of play, and help you be a little bit more versatile and have a more holistic understanding of the sport. Of course, those are all my words, but I'm sure Cabral would agree with them at least to an extent. Joisi exchanging with Pierre. Heavy touch here means a sliding effort. Ushers that one out of bounds. Terry. Just for a moment, Nava was in the 18 with the ball. Nothing much of it, though. Dembo Sedekan will switch the point of attack, or at least tries to pop it over top. And once again, picking up the loose ball in a good area. Sebastian Nava gets it in centrally. Wabowo sends his teammate running. Can it be kept in play? Yes, it can. Falls down, one-timer, no good. DeCarlo Guetta trying to put one into the back of the net, straight off his boot. Pierre could get that one by the defender, Derek Jones Jr. But now McKenzie pushes forward. Liam McKenzie searching centrally. Carter slipped for a moment, but he still beat the attacker to it. Johnny Salamani making that run for Vancouver. She nearly hit a minute of the 2 added on here in the first half. One more opportunity here for the home side. They've generated plenty of them. This one, not quite on target. And hold your breath anytime they get into the 18. They have been lethal. That shot had some bite to it, but it didn't have the accuracy. And there's the whistle. A thunderous start for LAFC 2 here in the first half. A goal in the 7th, 10th, and 27th minute for the home side puts them up comfortably in the season opener here at Titan Stadium. Once again, our score at half, 3-0. With that, we're going to step aside for a quick break. When we come back, we've got some halftime content for you here on MLSNextPro.com.
Action.
Attracted. I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. The jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake. And I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace. I live how I like. So looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
Highlights and stats are coming up later in halftime, but first, North Texas SC lifted the MLS Next Pro Cup last season. In a first of its kind for the league, MLS Next Pro takes you behind the scenes of what the 2024 season was like for the defending champs and several teams around the league. Here's the trailer.
For these players, it's more than just a game. It's a dream, a journey, a chance to make history. They fought through a grueling season, pushed beyond limits, and sacrificed everything for their fans. The season's journey tested their bodies, minds, and hearts.
Torella arcs this ball around everybody!
Sullivan from distance. Kevin Sullivan doubles the advantage for Philadelphia.
We have one more goal. One more. You guys gonna get it. Because you are the best team in this league. And we're gonna prove it tonight. Again, and again.
All the pressure's on them. Yeah? We're just a bunch of little kids who aren't supposed to be here.
In the end, only two will remain in the battle for supremacy.
Play the match, not the moment. You understand me?
This is more than a game. It's a legacy. The journey. The sacrifice. The glory. This is the road to MLS Next Pro Cup.
Visit MLSNextPro.com or MLS Next Pro's YouTube channel to check out all 5 episodes. After the break, we will hear from several of our league's coaches as we recently celebrated Black History Month. Stay with us.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro.
If I got it, then I bought it. Take a bite, cause I want it. And I know I got the taste for the cake. And I take what I make and I flaunt it, flaunt it. Got diamonds on my necklace. I live how I like. So looks is getting reckless. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. I'm feeling myself and you can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe. You can't break my vibe.
I know I'm fully attracted. I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. It's a jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
We're back here for more halftime content for you on the MLSNextPro.com stream. To celebrate Black History Month, MLS Next Pro caught up with black head coaches around the league to discuss what the celebratory month means to them.
Black History Month for me, it means a time to reflect, feel proud, feel motivated to just keep pushing on.
It's a time where we can all focus on the history and the contributions of people of color in this country. I think that's something that we should do throughout the whole year, but I also do appreciate the fact that we can dedicate a month into just focusing on certain subjects and certain traditions and historical figures that have given us the opportunity to do what we do in 2025.
Realizing that, and understanding that those people didn't die in vain. Right? They died for a purpose, to make my life better, to make other lives better within Black society.
Man, it's special to learn about these stories, to hear about these stories ever since you're a kid in school, and to see the impact that they had.
It is an uplifting time for people to kind of recognize, the past and try to bring it to the present.
I think this is so important to see the struggles of African, Black American. This means a lot for me.
A time to really learn for myself, for others outside the culture, right? To hopefully continue progressing as a society as a whole in a positive manner. I would say those sort of things are important.
This month for me is a time where society recognizes differences, and we reinforce that differences are good and enrich our world and society.
Now it's on us to continue to move this thing along and be inspirations for the next kids to come through as well.
Soccer is so powerful in terms of it's actually a universal language where you could speak to anyone on the planet Earth just using this entity that we call soccer. And that's why I think it can be a catalyst to open minds and open doors and open hearts to certain things that people are not normally privy to, just because of the fact that they're drawn to the sport.
Everyone should be given a chance. Differences should not be something that closes a door to you, but at the very least generates curiosity.
It's the world's game. You can see people from all over the world play it. And so to see Black coaches, Black executives, and see them be successful, it shows that, yeah, anybody can do it.
We have to go against a lot of obstacles and a lot of hurdles. We always have to go above and beyond to prove ourselves. So it's something that, I'm going to continue to work hard at and continue to build and continue to teach the other people who are coming, after me. It's to leave a legacy where they can emulate or look at, hey, this guy, he did it this way, he did it the right way.
Hopefully I can continue to grow and have more outreach and continue to help the younger generation.
Sometimes we don't think we're in that position to motivate people, to give them that little motivation that they might need to push through, but we are. So the responsibility is with us to make sure we're good role models for the next generation. So just trying to do the right thing.
Now that I'm a coach, I hope I can be a reference, especially within my playing career for other black athletes. Not to be like me, but to be better than me and surpass me, right? I think that's the ultimate goal, right? Is the next generation sort of carries the torch and takes it even higher and even better.
The young ones, they can see us being me as a coach, and now you see it on to inspire them being in the position where I'm at. I think this is a big achievement also with all the coaches all over the world.
Seeing someone of your color in a position that they're in, it gives you that motivation to say, if he can do it, I can do it. So I think it's very important that we are well represented, whether as coaches, players in the front office, so we're visible to people of our color so that they can be motivated.
I started coaching in Toronto, and that's when I started to think probably more into that aspect of it. Seeing a lot of black kids that I coached in the communities there, going out to camps and doing clinics and being one of a few black coaches at that time, it kind of makes me feel good to say, hey, you guys can do this. Continue to work hard, continue to do the right things, continue to believe in yourself, and one day you can be a professional player, you can be a coach and help others. And so I feel very blessed and fortunate to have had the career that I had. It's unfortunate to be in this role that I have now, to be able to, hopefully help out in any way some of the younger generation.
When they visualize it, they can become more goal-oriented in how to achieve it. And it's not just a dream, it's actually a goal with checkpoints in between, and they take themselves on their journey in order to achieve what they're trying to achieve, which is become a head coach in the MLS. So that's why it's important for people like myself to be in this position and to do well.
It's a lot of hard work. It's a long journey. We have to go against a lot of obstacles and a lot of hurdles. We always have to go above and beyond, to prove ourselves, So it's something that I'm going to continue to work hard at and continue to build and continue to teach the people who are coming, after me. It's to leave a legacy where they can emulate or look at, hey, this guy, he did it this way, he did it the right way.
Work hard, have faith, believe in your dreams, because ultimately nothing is impossible. I would say to foster the ambition of getting better, have the humility to listen, and the last thing I would say is probably you cannot buy experience, but you can borrow it.
We're back here for some more halftime content on MLSNextPro.com. 3-0 your scoreline after 45-plus minutes between LAFC 2 and Vancouver Whitecaps 2. Now let's take a look at the rest of the league here as we take a peek at the schedule coming up for the second week of action in the MLS Next Pro season. Friday is when both of these teams will be playing again. It'll be the same road/home configuration for these two sides. Back at Titan Stadium, LAFC 2 will be hosting Ventura County FC. Meanwhile, they'll be on the road again. Another tough matchup for Vancouver Whitecaps 2 going to play the reigning champions, North Texas SC. So that's what's coming up for those two sides on Friday. Just 3 games on the weekend, though. So you see a 2-game Saturday. With that, though, that's looking ahead. Now, let's flip the script and look behind us. This is what happened in the first half of action. We'll get that to you here in just a second. Here we go. And it got going very early for LAFC 2. But before that, There was an attacking opportunity for Vancouver. Cabral Carter in his debut, jumping on that pass. And then the 7th minute, a rocketing effort from Matt Evans. First goal of the season, not too shabby for LAFC 2. Then just a couple of moments later, would be a usual suspect scoring for LAFC 2 and Adrian Wibowo. And they would continue to pour it on, having twice as many shots as Vancouver Whitecaps 2 in the first half. Talking about LA. William McKenzie generated a great chance here that turned into a flurry of chances for Vancouver. It was definitely the best sequence of the half for them. Just couldn't punch it through, couldn't find the back of the net there. Cabral Carter punching it over top. And then one more opportunity. The back line in disarray. Just 2 white jerseys, 4 black jerseys amongst the 18 there. Probably could pick your poison, who you'd want to hit the back of the net there. And then it was nearly 4 if it had not been for the backtracking of Jeevan Badwal there to tap that one out of the way of Sebastian Nava before he could connect on it. So one substitution here for the home side. The first teamer, Jude Terry, takes his leave. And stepping in is Brian Moyato. Moyato, 19 years old. He was the player that Cabral Carter mentioned, that he's known since he was 11 years old. Their paths diverged, and now they have reconvened here on this second team as professionals. So it's an inspiring moment. 2 guys still very early on in their soccer careers. Let's see, in particular, how Vancouver comes out of the gates here. Now they've had the chance to hear some words from their coaching staff. How much different does it look here in the second 45 minutes? Certainly a rough first 10 minutes, and then they had to withstand a lot after that, and that third goal eking in a hectic moment. On this side, it's all about mentality today. LAFC 2, that is, once again on the prowl. Jones will play it back. Will stay along the touchline. And then it's knocked out of bounds for a Vancouver throw. Once again, my name is Mark Schoenstert. Excited to be back in the fray of things for MLS Next Pro. Match week 1. The last one of the opening weekend slate. Started in Austin, closing off here in Fullerton. Some promise here for the visitors. Nelson Pierre with some room to operate. Pierre rips it across. Knocked away by the center back. Christian and Eric Diaz, the pair back there for LAFC 2. There's a change of pace, nearly connecting with Hughes on the pass. Sebastian Nava demonstrating his ability to alter his speed at any given time. Always got to keep defenders on their toes. Nava will roll it back. Here's Wabowo. Take it to the right channel before dragging it back. Persistence here from the home side. They'll retain possession because of it. There's another ball sent inside, knotted away easily. How about that physicality from Selemani, shrugging off several defenders. He's all by himself for now. Sends Velios running. He connects with Castro. Nice feeding ball inside. And then the shot towards goal, just wide. Mateo Clark trying to tuck that one in near post. You see him rushing to place the ball down for a goal kick. So some eagerness from the visitors. Certainly an impressive first half of action for LAFC too. What can often be the case though in this league, given the composition of so many young players, find some inconsistency on the defensive side, especially for 90 whole minutes. So that'll be a big emphasis for the home team for these next 40 minutes of action. Can they keep it clean on one end, because they've obviously proven they could be punishing on the other. Here comes Nava again, once again, turning on the Jets. Squares it nicely. Get up, trying to get it past the keeper, but a sliding challenge, denying entry. It was good work from DiCarlo Guerra, but I believe that was Sedekan, who ended up sliding in before the shot could test the goalie. Clark now, driving in that cross. And hustling back to keep it in bounds. Sebastian Nava has been a busy man in this game so far. We've seen him get active down both sides, both wings. He'll be turning 22 tomorrow, so a happy early birthday to Sebastian Nava. Here he is, streaking down this side. Got an extra boost of energy coming out of the break. So this is a Vancouver side that has quite a few academy players getting a look here. From Selemani to Clark, to the likes of many of these players on the bench too, getting the opportunity to get some professional minutes here as an amateur. That one comes down, and it's dealt with by that Vancouver back line. McKenzie still going with it, playing it forward nicely. Selemani gets by the goalkeeper, and it's an answer for Vancouver. A lovely ball played forward, and Johnny Selemani whirls around the goalie and puts this one away. Good touch there, and then all you have to do is pass it into the back of the net. An excellent response for Vancouver here in the second half, and a great well-weighted pass from Liam McKenzie, getting his first assist of the season, which means he's already matched his 2024 total. Had 1 goal, 1 assist last year. LAFC 2 now will be hungry for an answer. That was one of his objectives coming into this season. Liam McKenzie was telling me he wanted to rack up more goals and assists in this campaign. Well, he's off to a great start. That's a nice find inside. Guetta's ball couldn't get over the defender. The second ball couldn't get over the defender. Some good sacrificial defending on this end of the pitch for Vancouver. Some more life from the visiting side. Goal has a tendency to do that. Once again, Sedekan taking 2 shots there, sacrificing himself, making sure it doesn't test the goalie behind him. Kudos to the 21-year-old defender. Ball lofted over to the left. Johnny Salamani, the goal scorer, sends it inside. Clark not on the same page there. Was hoping Jackson Castro would make a run. Salamani, though, one of those academy guys getting an opportunity to score. This ball going forward. Not going to reach its intended target. Josh Santiago making the run for LAFC 2. I just wanted to go back and confirm this. It's the first professional goal for Johnny Salamani, the 16-year-old, so big congratulations to him. Did get a couple of appearances last year for this side. This, his first time hitting the back of the net. Showing some composure as the goalkeeper was right in front of him to take that touch and make it an easy finish. One of those players on the academy getting the chance to prove themselves here. Castro chips this one up, headed back down, and it trickles through. We've got ourselves a ball game. Took some deflections. It took some determination. But Vancouver Whitecaps 2 are right back into this one. Headed down. And then Nelson Pierre gets his head on it, and I think it deflects off of him a second time. On loan from Philadelphia Union. His first goal with Vancouver Whitecaps 2. So how about that? The complexion of this game has massively changed. Went from, can LAFC smoothly see this one to the finish line to, what's the end result of this game going to be? How about this response and this resilience from the visitors? It'd be very easy to hang your heads going down 2-0 so early in a game. Then you settle into the match and concede another. They're down big at halftime. Some grit definitely being demonstrated here. And they may have another opportunity here. Pierre trying to create an opportunity for a teammate. That one glancing off of Francesco Troisi. Out for LAFC. LAFC 2. I'll have to try to settle things down here because now the ball seems to be rolling downhill in favor of Vancouver. academy guys getting the chance to play at the professional level. Ricardo Clark was telling me that they need to show their competency within their level, whatever age group that is. They need to have the technical ability, demonstrating our foundational ideas as a club. And they need to show and demonstrate how they read the game. Jones trying to work by one defender. And he'll tap it right back. Wabowo. Pass this one back to Christian Diaz. Wabowo again. Pops up the cross, and Max Hanker jumps up to claim it. I wonder when an academy player comes in, one of the big questions is how they'll handle that physical jump. It's not just that it's stronger and faster in the literal sense, but also because the players are faster and they're stronger, the game moves at a faster rate. So how fast can a guy who's making that jump process information and execute now that the tempo of the game picks up? And the fact of the matter is, if you're an academy player and you're getting your first ever chance at the MLS Next Pro level, there's no way to be properly ready for it. So Ricardo Clark told me that you have to, as a coaching staff, know how to drip feed players into this process. Not only training with the next team, getting minutes with the Next Pro team at their level. You can't just throw too much at once or else you're really gonna dash the confidence. It's oh so delicate a job being the manager of one of these Next Pro clubs. But hey, it's in the job description. This portion of the match is brought to you by Kaiser Permanente, the official team physicians of LAFC. Jones, earned the corner kick, he did. Got that one to glance off of Nelson Pierre. Now a corner kick for LAFC 2. Dipping down the far post, is headed back centrally. One-timer! An opportunity presented itself, and Eric Diaz, the center back, tried to pick out the bottom right corner. It pinballed away. It'll be another corner kick for LAFC 2. Here comes the corner kick, and it's dragged out easily. Perhaps another opportunity here, though. Nava taps that one in. That's a good move. Evans play it all the way back. Comes to that upward trajectory from academy to second team, from second team to the MLS side. Junior Gonzalez very much is pleased with how the organization is run here with LAFC. Wabowo will tap it out to Jones. Jones's service to Nava, and it will bounce into the hands of Anchor. I tell you what, Sebastian Nava has been all over the map in this game. Two new additions to the side this year, Derek Jones Jr. and Sebastian Nava. Former teammates at the University of Portland, so they already have a little bit of that dynamic between the two of them. Granted, Derek Jones Jr. technically drafted out of Cal State Northridge, played his final year there, but he spent 4 years with the University of Portland. LAFC 2 winning back possession. Another window of opportunity, and that one skied over top. We got two substitutions coming the way of Junior Gonzalez's side. So first off, the goal scorer Matthew Evans will sub out for Matias Wanchope. And then another goal scorer, Alec Hughes, subs out for Marius Ayanero.
Player number 60, Matias Wanchope. This substitution for LAFC 2 also occurs in the 65th minute of play. Exiting the match, player number 39, Alec Hughes. Entering the match, player number 47, Marius Ayanero.
So, a 17-year-old and a 16-year-old subbing into the game for LAFC 2. Talked about how young they were last year. Still continuing that trend this season. Junior Gonzalez talked about this is a very well-ran club, LAFC. There's a daily level of communication where he's always talking between the academy, the second team, the first team. They all train at the same facilities. There's a lot of absorbing information between the units. So we practice right after them. The second team absorbing things from the first team, the academy absorbing things from the second team. He mentioned that they played the first team the other day in 11v11 to help them get ready for the MLS season. And that's just one of the benefits of everyone being under the same umbrella, literally. Make sure everybody is operating under the same pretenses, the same cornerstones and foundational ideas. Opportunity for Vancouver, ends up going wide. Jackson Castro ends up hitting that one with the outside of his boot. It's early on in the season, so group dynamics still growing and developing for both of these teams. When I talked to Ricardo Clark about the leaders on this Vancouver side, is I got a little bit hairy. He said still time for the leaders on the team to really reveal themselves, but right now they're leaning on the players with the relative most experience on the team. Of course, not too many guys that are seasoned professional vets, but guys who have just played meaningful minutes and meaningful games at a high level. They're leaning on those guys right now, and they'll lead in whatever method they choose to lead, whether it is using their voice, showing by example, by how they play the game. It's very important to have a mix of leaders who do all those different things. Can't all just be guys screaming. Bending ball, nodded away. Chance cut short, LAFC able to win the ball back. And now it'll be Derek Jones Jr. cutting it out to Abowo. Wabowo's cross sent in, headed away by Sedekan. He's had his hands full today. That one bounces all the way through. Wabowo inside the 18. Wabowo fires! Anchor able to parry that one. Take all of the muster off of it. This takes a step, and he packs a punch behind that shot. Headed out for corner kick, LAFC 2. Searching for another cushion to their lead. Anchor with the two-hand punch. The one-timer couldn't dip down enough. Not a bad effort, but couldn't reach the frame. This portion of the match is brought to you by Stater Brothers Markets. Pierre jostling there with Jones. Derek Jones does well, though, to keep the pressure from reaching the ball. Got the new faces, talked about a little bit, that have been added to this LAFC 2 team, as here's a chance. Wabowo pops this one up. There's no one there for it. Put in a dangerous area, but no black jersey on the receiving end. Wabowo, one of those homegrown academy guys, though. Part of a large group of players who have spent a good amount of time in this LAFC program. Cabral Carter, the goalkeeper, went off to pit, has come back, and he said that it's a good group. These guys have obviously improved a lot from the last time that I was regularly with them 3 years ago. Another opportunity, scored centrally. And a sliding challenge knocks that one out of the way. Mark O'Neill with the effort. Sebastian Nava once again showing his prowess. He doesn't have any goals or assists in this game, but he has been very impressive. He'll play it short. Outside of the boot cross. Here's another look. Moyato earns a corner kick. But Cabral Carter thinks this is a good group that's already grown game to game in the preseason. And it was very evident. He had the utmost confidence that this team could make a run. It could be a real contender this year. As that one loops over. They showed some of their danger in the first half to have gotten their way in here for Vancouver, though. This game not wrapped up. Certainly not wrapped up the way that many may have thought after the halftime break. Nice find through, McKenzie shoots! And it's all tied up here. He wanted to score more goals and assists this season. And lo and behold, Liam McKenzie with a goal and an assist in this match. Occupying wide open space inside the 18. And then rips that one near post. Tie ball game. Liam McKenzie, 17 years old. Having himself a great opening match here.
Whitecaps FC 2 goals scored in the 73rd minute of play. The goal scored by player number
This is
97,
second
Liam
season
McKenzie.
playing, coming off his first year as a pro last season. Told me about the nerves he felt playing as a professional last year, and now he's a little bit more comfortable. And he wanted to add more goals and assists to his resume. Is there an instant response on the other side? Just off the left post. Juan Chope nearly recapturing the lead for LAFC 2. It's a lovely ball over the top. Just skirts the post. We're gonna get another substitution here for the home team. Charlie Rosenthal is in the game.
The substitution for LAFC 2 occurs in the 73rd
So Adrian Wabowo, the 2024 star of this side, will sub out, and in comes the academy player, Charlie Rosenthal. Our last goal scorer, Liam McKenzie, had a pretty neat moment as of late. Got to meet a veteran star of the game, Kendall Waston, for the second time. I had a picture from when Liam McKenzie was very young, very little, and I got to meet him again and show him that picture now that he is a full-blown professional player. The Costa Rican star, Kendall Waston, by the way. The center back for the Costa Rican side, Saprissa. Our first yellow card of the game has been issued to the recent substitute, Charlie Rosenthal, after knocking down Liam McKenzie. But it was a really neat moment between McKenzie and Waston. You got to show him that old picture, which I'm sure made Waston feel really old. And then they got to take a new one to commemorate the time that had passed. And McKenzie said that he looked up to him a lot, so it was surreal to see how far he had come, as in Liam. But in that time that he's grown as a player, from being in the academy to now being a pro, Kendall Waston has been playing professional soccer that entire time. He's been doing it. And when it comes to just playing with big names in general, McKenzie said that I try not to normalize the experience, but it is special to get to train with guys, especially at Vancouver Whitecaps, that he grew up watching, going to games to see, as Pierre jumped on that pass. He's kept it in play, and a bending effort goes over. A big opportunity here. Just a careless pass along the back line, and Nelson Pierre, who came streaking in. Vancouver are hungry for a fourth. So that's going to be the last spell of the day for Nelson Pierre after jumping on that pass and creating that opportunity. He will sub out, and Sahil Deo, the academy player, will check in for just his second ever match in MLS Next Pro. Played 10 minutes, match day 30 last time out. Well, they're not going to make that substitution yet. But in due time. That ball down the left-hand side will be intended for Charlie Rosenthal, and he'll go out for a corner kick. 3 goals in the opening 30 minutes for LAFC 2. And you think it's all in the bag, but Vancouver Whitecaps, too, here in the second half, have scored in under 30 minutes themselves to tie it back up at 3 apiece. Corner kick sent down. Jones couldn't put that one down on target. So that substitution, I promise, has now been executed. Nelson Pierre is out. It's Sahil Deo, the 16-year-old, steps in for his second ever appearance in MLS Next Pro. We're here in the 80th minute now. What an exciting 80 minutes we've had here. Do we have another goal here in store? For those who are unfamiliar with the format in MLS Next Pro, should this game end in a tie after 90 minutes, it is not fully done. We will go to penalties to award an extra point. So both sides will get 1 point, and then a bonus one will be up for grabs at the penalty spot. It's the one of many ways this league has tried out new functions of rules for the sport to see how they look at the professional level and if they should be implemented at bigger stages. And that includes a new rule that they're operating with this year, a rule known as only the captain, which there's a new hand motion for officials to demonstrate to keep players from mobbing officials after a bad decision, as a yellow card is issued here. I believe that was given to Moyato, but I'll await confirmation on that one. Hey, there's the confirmation, right on cue. But the only the captain rule will mean that the refs can talk to any of the players, but when a key decision is made, only the captain has the ability to approach the referee and talk to the referee. Now, in the case that there is a captain who's a goalkeeper, which is actually the case for both of these teams in this game right now, there will be an assigned vice captain, as that was not the way that LAFC would have liked that one to play out. And it may result in something for Vancouver here. That was a crunching collision. This portion of the match is brought to you by Toyota. To complete the thought on the only the captain implementation, the official can put up a hand signal, and anybody who is not a captain or the assigned vice captain on the field as a field player, you have to take, if I remember correctly, it's 4 feet of 4 feet away from the official. So I do think mobbing the ref is definitely a pretty unsightly thing that happens in the game. I think this is a great rule to implement and try here. And if a player infringes upon that 4-foot zone, you get a booking. Being a referee is an incredibly difficult job, and it's awfully thankless. When you're doing your job well, no one pays note of it, no one pays attention to it. They don't want to think about it, they're focused on the game. But if ever things get questionable, if things go wrong, you are the center of the ire. And yeah, there are times that criticism is deserved and scrutiny should be performed, and even officials and Pro as an organization are fine with that. There's a lot of gray area in the sport of soccer. So differing opinions are going to be had. But that doesn't make a difference in how you should treat an official on the field, regardless of how much you disagree with a decision. So I think this is a really good rule to test drive here. We'll see how it translates as the season goes on. I mean, up to this point in this game, we have not had a moment where players have flocked towards our head official, so it hasn't even gotten to a point where any sort of warnings have had to be issued. So whether that's because of the new rule that's been added or just because players have been pretty content with the officiating in this game, we would have to ask the coaches and the players that one. But there certainly hasn't ever been a huddle around the ref. Corner kick here for Vancouver. It's a beautiful night in California. 57 degrees at Titan Stadium. That's some perfect weather for the beautiful game. Will one of these teams find a late goal and claim victory here? Corner kick comes swerving in. Did that one cross the line? The refs say no. Right against the line. Oh, so close. Cabral Carter swathing that one out. It's going to be tough to make a decision if it crossed the line, and we're going to get a red card here. A member of the staff for Vancouver has been dismissed from the game. Now the question is, was it Ricardo Clark or one of the members of his staff? Meanwhile, a corner kick ensuing for Vancouver. So the first real contentious decision of the game by our officiating crew.
Please, the head referee has issued a red card caution to the Whitecaps FC2 bench. The time of the red card issuing in the 86th minute.
Once we get confirmation from our associates down on the field, we'll let you know who got dismissed as this one's headed away. Perhaps take two here. A wipeout though, and we've got a player down, but LAFC will go on the break. Don't think that's the right decision there. You have two open players on the left-hand side running down. But they'll keep going, they'll keep pushing. And that one should be out for a corner. Checking on the player down on the other side of the pitch now. Non-contact slide there. Going down there was Mateo Clark. Just hope it's all right. Nothing too serious. You always worry when a player goes down without contact. It did look like he slid, as opposed to there being no give from the grass. But he is ailing that left leg. So a substitution incoming for the visiting side. Kyler Voivodic preparing himself for Vancouver. Meanwhile, Adrian Sanders getting ready for LAFC 2. So Voivodic subs in for the injured Mateo Clark. Meanwhile, Eric Diaz will sub out, and the 16-year-old Adrian Sanders will step in. The academy kid had 13 appearances last year, so a well-seasoned academy player here at the Next Pro level. Four minutes tacked on as this one's headed on goal. Anchor punches it up, then claims it. So we've received confirmation on who was given that red card earlier. Dante Marcanato, the assistant coach, is the one who was sent off. 3 more minutes for one of these teams to break through and claim all 3 points. Badwell tried the cross, and it's out for a goal kick.
Entering the match, play number 65, Adrian Sanders.
Regardless of how this one ends, if it goes to penalties, whether you win or lose penalties, if you're Vancouver and you're Ricardo Clark, you have seen that drive and that determination demonstrated by your side here, being down 3-0. First game of the season. There may not be a ton of ride or die dynamics between this group yet because you haven't been together for that long. But to see them all stick together and fight this way, that's majorly impressive. And we got a player slow to get up for LAFC 2, DeCarlo Guerra, a player who has been active throughout this one. He's had a couple of scoring opportunities as a holding midfielder. Three of the 4 minutes ticked away, though. I'm sure our head ref is going to have more than 4 minutes tick away, given the stoppages we've had here and out of time. This ball's chipped up. Getting there is Cabral Carter. Disruption, interfering with the goalkeeper, Kyler Voivodic. will get the yellow card. Now we wait for play to resume again. It's been a choppy added 4 minutes here. So your guess is as good as mine when this one will actually end.
Please, the head referee has issued a yellow card warning to Whitecaps FC 2 in stoppage time. The yellow card warning issued to player number 61, Kyler Rosmany.
We've seen some slippage on the pitch here in the second half as Vancouver has bodies going to the left-hand side. That's a good touch. Salamani couldn't put it away. A chance for a late game lead taker. Johnny Salamani already scored his first professional goal tonight. He set himself up so nicely, but it was wide left. Nearly flipping this game entirely on its head. And that's the final moment in regulation. It is 3-3 between LAFC 2 and Vancouver Whitecaps 2, which means we have got a penalty shootout coming up. For those unfamiliar, we've got a little explanatory video for you here.
At the end of regulation, since the teams are tied on the scoreboard, the match will extend to a shootout, with each team having 5 attempts. If the teams are tied after 5 attempts, they will go to sudden death. The shootout winner will receive an extra point in the regular season standings.
So we're back here at Titan Stadium. 90 plus minutes was not enough to separate these two sides. So let's take a look at the 6 goals we've seen scored in this one. Boy, has it been a banger of a game. 3-3 your scoreline. It was a tale of 2 halves in many ways. It really looked like the home side LAFC 2 had this one all wrapped up. And yet, that wasn't the case coming out in the second half. Vancouver Whitecaps 2 able to find the back of the net 3 times. Something about this left side of the pitch here. All 6 goals being scored on that end. So we're actually going to call an audible. Won't be able to take a chance to look at the highlights here. Instead, we will just wait with bated breath for this penalty shootout. This will be the 3rd game this opening weekend to go to pens. The final game of match day week 1. Or match week 1. Crown Legacy and New York City FC 2 going to pens. Revs 2 and Union 2 going to pens. And now here we are. Los Angeles FC 2 and Vancouver Whitecaps 2. The 2 captains, the goalkeepers have already met. The coin's been flipped. All the goals have been scored on the left goal. But now surely some will have to get scored here on the right side. Ricardo Clark, been the head man for Vancouver Whitecaps 2 for several years now. this being his third year as the coach. Vancouver Whitecaps over that time have had 6 shootout wins. Meanwhile, last year, Junior Gonzalez and LAFC 2 had 3 shootout wins in just one season. So per season, these coaches are averaging the same amount of shootout wins per year here with these programs. And it will be Vancouver to start. Up at the plate to get things rolling. Looks to be Jackson Castro. And Castro gets it by Cabral Carter. The goalkeeper picked the right side, but there was just too much on that one. He got a paw on it, but Jackson Castro really put the heat on the shot.
Kicking for the black and gold, player number 46, DeCarlo Guerra.
So now it'll be DeCarlo Guerra, the Guatemalan. He's gonna have a long wind-up. One-on-one with Max Anchor. Get up. That's a great penalty. That one came in at a blazing pace. I'm not sure even if you knew exactly where it was going, if you'd be able to stop it starting at the center. Talk about a take. Now Liam McKenzie, who has had himself quite the game, a goal and an assist. The 17-year-old will now be at the penalty spot. One-on-one with Cabral Carter. McKenzie gets it by. That's also a well-struck pen. So, all completions thus far. It'll be Sebastian Nava. I think he's the name I said the most tonight. A heavily involved player for LAFC too. And now he'll get a chance from the spot. One-on-one with Max Anchor. And Nava's stopped. Anchor locks it down. The 20-year-old goalkeeper stretches down his right arm, keeping that one from going in. Advantage in favor of LAFC 2. And that one put away oh so nicely by Mark O'Neill. I said advantage to LAFC 2, advantage to Vancouver, I should say. As Mark O'Neill rips that one very nicely. Matthias Wanchope now from the penalty spot. Gotta play catch up now. Wanchope, he's done it. (3-2). Vancouver still with the nod. Now going up to the plate. The substitute, Sahil Deo, just 16 years old, has the opportunity to punch this one through. This would put LAFC 2 on the brink, and he does just that. Right down the middle. Derek Jones Jr.
Play number 32, Derek Jones Jr.
Derek Jones Jr. has to put this one away to keep this one alive. And it's off the crossbar. It's all over here. Down 3-0, Vancouver. Scrape back 2 points. What a result on the road. It looked like it was going to be a disaster of a game. But they go into half, they recuperate, and they lock down, found some goals. And now they're the ones smiling and laughing at the end of this one. You talk about results like this at any time in the season as one you hang your hat on and go back to and say, this game is the reason why we were able to perform the way we did this season. And to get that one, the first game of the year, Vancouver could be in for a ride this season. Meanwhile, for LAFC 2, they're going to have to use this one as fire and as fuel. There's a lot of positives to take away from this game. Very incisive in the first half. A great start. But you couldn't see this one out, couldn't close it out. What a matchup these two teams have displayed here. A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy following that penalty kick victory for Vancouver Whitecaps 2, and for good reason. And they'll be looking to carry that momentum into a second straight road game. They'll be traveling to play North Texas on Friday, a North Texas side that was bested earlier 3-0 against St. Louis City 2. Meanwhile, staying right here at home, a big game against Ventura County FC on Friday for the home team, LAFC 2. With that, let's take a look at tonight's man of the match. And it's gonna be the player we got to chat with for Vancouver Whitecaps 2, Liam McKenzie. He wanted to rack up goals and assists this year, and he's already matched his total in both of those categories here in the opener. 1 goal, 1 assist, including the game-tying goal, which would send this one to penalties. What a performance from him. And how about the resilience from Ricardo Clark's side? I'm sure they'll be carrying this experience throughout the season. But that is where this show is coming to a close here on MLSNextPro.com. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Mark Schoenster. Our final score here, LA 3, Whitecaps 3. Whitecaps winning in the shootout. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. LA 3, Vancouver 3, your final score. You all have a good night.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.